In the ancient Slavic world, music was not only a form of entertainment, but a divine connection that bridged the gap between mortals and gods. From tales of heroes and gods to shamanic rituals, music was the vessel that carried the wisdom and traditions of our Indo-European ancestors. In my previous videos, we have uncovered the secrets of the Slavic drums in shamanic ceremonies, which I highly suggest that you check out. Today we shall embark on a new journey, exploring three instruments that conveyed these mythical tales, which share the same name yet have vastly different appearances. These instruments held great power, as they were woven into the fabric of Slavic mythology and epic poetry, and their melodies could move gods and men alike. Historical chronicles recount the musical legacy of the Slavic people. Ibn Rusta, a Persian explorer from the 10th century, wrote that they have different kinds of lutes, panpipes, and flutes a cubit long. Their lutes have 8 strings. They drink mead. They play their instruments during the incineration of their dead and claim that their rejoicing attests the mercy of the Lord of the Dead. Meanwhile, Ibrahim ibn Yaqub noted that they have different kinds of wind and string instruments. They have a wind instrument more than 2 cubits long and an 8-stringed instrument whose sounding board is flat, not convex. The ancient plucked instrument of the Eastern Slavs, which this author writes about, is known as gusli. It has been recorded since 1170 in Novgorod Rus and is still played in Russia and other Eastern Slavic regions today. There are 2 traditional variations of the instrument: the wing-shaped gusli, which is played similarly to modern guitars, and the helmet-shaped gusli, which is held on the musician's knees, with the strings arranged horizontally over the resonator body. The musician uses their hand to mute strings and form chords with their left hand, while strumming the strings with their right hand.
Из того ли города измуромля, из того, где села до Скорочарова, выезжал дорогий добрый молодец, еще старый казак, да имя Муромец.
The first presumed evidence of the existence of gusli dates back to 591 AD. Its author, the Greek historian Theophylact Simokata, tells of 3 messengers of the Baltic Slavs who fled from the Avar Khan to Thrace and were captured by the Greeks. According to the historian, they had lyres, kitaras, in their hands, but according to available information, there could not have been any other instrument similar to lyres among the ancient Slavs except for gusli. The correctness of this assumption is confirmed by the previously mentioned information from Arab writers. The Velestino hoard provides evidence that the gusli type of instrument may have been a widespread Slavic instrument, or at least existed among the South Slavs. This hoard, discovered in Velestino, a village in Thessaly in Greece, named after the Slavic deity Veles, contains artifacts dating back as early as the 7th century AD. Among the lead and bronze figures found in the hoard are 2 types of figurines holding an instrument that looks strikingly similar to the gusli. Boyan, the bard who appears in the Rus epic The Lay of Igor's Campaign on the court of Yaroslav the Wise, was believed to have played the gusli and was identified as the grandson of Volos, solidifying the connection between the deity Veles, music and poetry. In addition to this instrument, the term gusle or husle is also used in Slavic languages to refer to various stringed instruments, including modern violins. Within the South Slavic regions, there are two bowed string instruments known as gusle and gusla, which share the same name as gusli and function but have different physical appearances. The term gusla is used to describe an instrument that is believed to have originated from the Byzantine lyre, which can be seen in the Croatian name for this instrument, ljerica, derived from the word lira, that is lyre. This same instrument is called gadulka in Bulgaria and gudok in Russia. Like the Russian gusli, the gusla was commonly used during celebrations and festivities, particularly for the recitation of epic and mythological poetry. But perhaps one of the most popular instruments used for reciting epic poetry in the South Slavic region is the gusle, which is prevalent in Serbia, Montenegro, and among other Slavic communities in the Western Balkans. The northern Albanians also adopted this instrument through their assimilation of Serbs into their ethnogenesis. The gusle is a musical instrument consisting of a single string and played while singing, especially heroic songs of epic poetry. When playing the gusle, the musician holds it vertically between their knees, with their left hand fingers on the strings. The strings are not pressed against the neck, which produces a distinctive and harmonic sound. The epic poetry of Serbia and the folk songs of its neighboring Slavic lands stand as a testament to the power of storytelling. Composed in the midst of the medieval era, these works of art have been passed down from generation to generation, finally recorded in the 19th century. Filled with tales of historical events and legendary figures, these epic poems are more than mere records of past deeds. They are a tapestry of myth and history, woven together in a way that transcends time and space. The heroes and villains of these tales are not merely human beings, but mythic archetypes grounded in the very fabric of Slavic culture, drawing on ancient mythological motifs and even Indo-European themes. To illustrate, these epic poems are rich with mythical creatures like dragons, giants, and nymphs, who often act as both allies and foes to the medieval heroes. These heroes are the descendants of ancient gods and mythical heroes, who often have nothing in common with the real lives of the people whose names they inherited, which I have explained in detail in my book Songs and Legends of Kraljevic Marko. The mythological songs of the South Slavic and Eastern Slavic epic poetry are echoes of the ancient Slavic and common Indo-European heroic poetry performed by the bards and skalds of yore as a means to preserve the mythological tradition and legacy of the ancients. It is exactly this fact that hides the answer to why all these instruments are called the same, have the same purpose, and yet look completely different. The answer to this mystery lies in the old Slavic term guslar, which once denoted any stringed instrument used for reciting epic and mythological poetry. Even today, in the Polish language, there is the term gusła to mean sorcery, while a wizard or sorcerer is referred to as guslarz, which is the very same term that the bards and skalds of South Slavic and Eastern Slavic lands are called by, guslar. Therefore, the term guslar is specifically reserved for the musician who plays a stringed instrument and recites epic mythological poetry, much like the classical Greek rhapsode who performed the epics of Homer. And as we have seen, language suggests that these poets were historically considered as magicians, sorcerers, and individuals closely related to the religious practices of the community. At times, they were regarded as priests or priestesses who performed religious ceremonies and communicated with the gods or the spirits on behalf of the people. They were thought to possess mystical and supernatural abilities and were called upon to use their talents to heal, safeguard, or curse others. The example of the guslar Boyan in the Rus epic illustrates this perfectly, as he is considered a descendant of Volos, the deity of sorcery. Similarly, in Norse mythology, we have the dwarves, who were originally chthonic creatures, as creators of the mead of poetry. Thus, it is apparent that artistry, music, and poetry were perceived as mystical and otherworldly gifts, a conclusion we already established in the aforementioned video regarding the mysterious link between shamans, blacksmiths, and dwarves. The reason for this is that myths, originally transmitted orally through epic poetry, are often symbolic and contain hidden knowledge that reveal the mysteries of life, death, rebirth, and enlightenment. As these myths were regarded as esoteric ancestral wisdom, it was only fitting that their performers were seen as having a mystical connection to the other world, from which these myths were believed to originate, from the ancestors, basically. Thus, the poets who recited these myths were identified as sorcerers, possessing the power to connect to the mythical realm beyond our understanding. Like his counterparts, the Old Norse skáld and the Celtic bard, the Slavic guslar too has undergone a transformation over time, from being a mysterious sorcerer to a mere entertainer, stripped away from his mythical essence. Unfortunately, we have remained on this path to this day, and our modern music reflects our sterile and soulless view of the cosmos, without any mythology to feel the vastness of existence. Throughout our journey, we have delved into the world of some specific Slavic instruments, all serving a similar purpose and have uncovered a forgotten figure from the Slavic tradition, the guslar. I hope this video was both informative and captivating for you to watch. If you found it enjoyable, give it a thumbs up and share it with others to support the channels. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more content like this. And if you want to expand your knowledge on Slavic mythology and European paganism in general, be sure to check out my books and other videos on this channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.